What's up, gang, gang, gang? Having breakfast, man. Well, this is actually lunch. I had an egg sandwich earlier. And this is breakfast. 3 fucking eggs, 2 beef patties, that's a half pound of beef, 3 eggs, and my protein bread. Yeah, so I had to go to the dry cleaners today and fucking find someone who's available to press my shit because I got a meeting tomorrow with some more people again. But let's see what we got here. What? It was rescheduled for September 1st. Okie dokie. Damn, I'm good at cooking, bro. This one.
If you don't understand the rules of power, you will certainly lose to someone who does.
Kind of hobby.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the series. Today, we will be going over the peptide CJC 1295 with DAC. What it does, how to research it properly, side effects, benefits, dosage, cycling, all that. Shout out to Young LA, the only clothes I wear. Link down in the description box below. I'm saving 10%. Look good, feel good, get your girlfriend, keep your girlfriend. It can do it all. And if you're interested in doing your own research when it comes to SARMs or peptides, be sure to click the very first link down in the description box below. That will take you to my guys over at Beyond Research, where you can purchase liquid SARMs and peptides, and you can even get the sterile water needed to reconstitute these peptides. Use my code ANK10 for 10% off, and if you buy 2 or more SARMs, you automatically get $5 off, and you can stack that.
I've seen a lot of videos that you either can use sterile water or bacteriostatic water. Bacteriostatic water is way better because you can use it more than once and it lasts longer. So never use sterile water for peptides.
$5 with my code. Now, if you're wanting these SARM capsules, you do still have to call Beyond Max. You can buy the SARM liquid and the SARM capsules with Beyond Max. But if you want the peptides, or if you just want to get the liquid SARMs online, you have to go through beyond-research.com. All the info is or was on the screen, and it is also all down in the description box below. Great people, high quality, same-day shipping, and the best customer service in the game. Any questions about Beyond Research, Beyond Max, or really anything, shoot me an email from fitness@gmail.com and I'll get you straight. All right, CJC 1295 with DAC. It is a synthetic form of GHRH, which stands for growth hormone releasing hormone. It is made up of 29 amino acids, and it has been shown to significantly increase your natural growth hormones.
What is this, bro? Get out of here.
Secretion without releasing hormone. It is made up of 29 amino acids, and it has been shown to significantly increase your natural growth hormone secretion without affecting your body's normal pulse. So it's going to raise up your growth hormone secretion, but it's not going to screw with your body's own system of doing that. You are probably wondering, what is the difference between this compound and a compound like MK677 ibutamoron? Essentially, MK677 tells the body to release more of that GHRH, the growth hormone releasing hormone, where CJC 1295 is that hormone. So MK677 is telling your body to release more of that hormone, where this stuff is that hormone, if that makes sense. I look at it as skipping a step. You kind of cut out a middleman. Now, one thing that I absolutely love about this compound is that it won't increase your appetite like MK677 will. Now, If you like that stuff, then you guys can continue to take MK677. But that was one big thing that I did not like when it came to it, is I hated that I just wanted to tear through a loaf of bread every 5 minutes. But CJC has no effect on the appetite stimulating hormone known as ghrelin. Ghrelin essentially tells you that you're hungry. But if you like the appetite effect and or you don't want to deal with injecting, then just stick with MK677 from Beyond Research, of course. Now, there is a laundry list of benefits that this stuff has, and they are essentially the same as HGH, including increase in growth hormone secretion and IGF-1 levels with no increase in prolactin. And you also have increased body weight and length through increased protein synthesis, muscle growth, bone density, immune function, cognition, and memory, collagen production, fat loss, and cellular repair and regeneration. It is essentially HGH. Now, one interesting thing about CJC is it will promote something called slow wave deep sleep. Slow wave deep sleep is the stage of sleep where your body is at its most restful state. And it is also the highest level of sleep for lean muscle growth, memory retention, and rejuvenation. Slow wave is the stage after light sleep and before REM sleep. Now, you typically have 3 to 5 cycles per night as you go through these stages. And as you go along, each stage gets shorter and shorter and shorter. What CJC can do is it can keep you in that slow wave deep sleep longer. And like I said, that is when you are getting the most recovery. Now, DAC stands for Drug Affinity Complex. The GHRH, the growth hormone releasing hormone, has a very short half-life. It's only a few minutes. Now, the shorter the half-life, the fat compound is removed from the body, and therefore less effects or less benefits you get. Now, if you just have regular CJC 1295, aka sermorelin, I think that's how you say it, it is modified to push the half-life to 30 minutes. But if you have DAC in there, it puts that half-life to right around 7 to 8 days. Nothing is going to be a few minutes. If you have the regular CJC 1295, you're looking about 30 minutes. And then with the addition of DAC, it pushes it out to 8 days. That is a long time. Cycles, dosing, injections, and frequency. With the addition of DAC, since it stretches that half-life out so much, your injections really only have to be once a week, but it's going to be better if you just do it twice a week. That ensures the levels where your blood levels stay steady. It's such an easy shot, guys. A sub-Q shot, little pinch in the fat. It's so freaking easy. Just do it twice a week. This is the tricky part. Okay, dosing is all over the place on this fucking shit. I've seen vastly different protocols from a lot of different sources and people. I reached out to my steroid guy. I was on forums. I was talking to different guys on Reddit. The dosing is fucking crazy. You see some that are extremely low, around 600 micrograms per week. And then you see some that are fucking high, around 6,000 micrograms per week. Some even recommended a formula where it's like 30 micrograms per, or how much lean body mass you have, if you can figure that out. And then other people say that that formula doesn't work and it doesn't equate from mice to humans. So everyone has their own opinion on it. After falling down a fucking rabbit hole for 2 hours, I eventually nailed it down to a range. Keep in mind that CJC is a dose-dependent compound, which means the more you take, the higher the benefits are going to be. But that also raises side effects also. So while you're getting more benefits, you're also getting more bullshit. So please do not take that as a green light to start banging this shit like it's an ex-girlfriend at 3 a.m. after you've downed a bottle of Patron. That's not what I'm fucking saying. As always, keep it low and keep it slow. Now, I recommend staying in a range of 2,000 micrograms to 4,000 micrograms per week. And like we talked about earlier, that would be split up into 2 doses. So if you're taking 2,000 micrograms, you would do 1,000 on Monday and then 1,000 on Thursday. Or if you're doing 4,000, you're going to do 2,000 on Monday and 2,000 on Thursday. Now, after 4 to 6 weeks, if all is well, no issues whatsoever, you can raise that dose as you go. I would start at that 2,000. After a few weeks, if you have no issues, then you can bump up as needed. Now, typically I would say, don't go past this mark. That's what I would say with other compounds. But with this, we just don't know. There's not a whole lot of studies out there about it. So I'm not going to say that it's going to kill you. I'm just saying just to go slow, pay attention, see how your body reacts, and adjust as necessary. Now, the best way to take this stuff is going to be right before bed. You know, lights off, fans on, you're ready to go to sleep, and you inject this stuff. It also needs to be on an empty stomach. So I would make sure that you haven't eaten anything for at least 2 hours. It is a sub-Q injection, just like any other peptide, just a shot right there in the fat. And if you need
empty stomach, and I know that because I've seen it in other videos, but also because in order for your body to produce and to actually, all right, your body produces HGH, right? But it doesn't secrete it into the body until there's no fats and no carbs in your system. Now, some carbohydrates, they take longer than others to metabolize in the body. So he said 2 hours before. I mean, you can eat pasta for dinner, and then like 3-4 hours later, you still have that in your system. So like, you know, I don't know. That doesn't seem very, I don't know. It doesn't seem very pleasing to me. Like, you know, I would say you have to like do it. I would say do it when you wake up. I'm the type of person that eats, you know, fairly close to bedtime. Like, I have a busy schedule. I'm always running around. I'm always doing shit. I have a kid. So I don't really have time to come home and, hey, I'm not going to eat for 4 fucking hours before bed. Like, it's obviously essential because you're not supposed to eat that long before bed. But with somebody with a busy schedule like me, there's always issues popping up. And it's hard for me to actually, you know, get a lot of food into the system. And in order to grow, you need a lot of calories, you need a lot of protein, you need a lot of carbs, you need a lot of fats. So I don't know. That's probably very situational. Maybe for him, maybe he doesn't eat 3-4 hours before bed. That's not something that I do. Everyone's schedule is different, and it's specifically carbs and fat. So you can't have carbs or fat in your stomach in order for, like, if you inject the peptide and then you have carbs and fat in your system, your body's not going to release the HGH. It's not going to release the human growth hormone because you have fats and carbs in your body. So then either it's going to accumulate, and then when you don't have the carbs and fat, it's going to shoot out, or it's going to build it up and then it's going to waste it. It's going to just, I don't know what it's going to do. I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm not a scientist. I don't study peptides. I don't do that stuff, but I do study, you know, according to like whatever these guys and these physicians say online. But it's just, I don't know, 2 hours before bed. And obviously it's because he says that it induces the whole deep sleep. It doesn't mean that it makes you tired. It just means that it helps you tap into the deeper sleep, you know, which is the REM sleep, the rapid eye movement sleep. It helps you tap into that more efficiently. So I would say if you have a problem with, like me, where you have a problem with eating before bed, I would say take that shit in the morning, because you have a better chance of, let's say you go to sleep, you know, an hour or two after eating, you go to sleep for 7-8 hours. Now you really do have almost nothing in your system, you know, supposedly. You know, food stays in your body for days. It takes about 3 days to ferment meat. I think a whole week to get pizza out of your system. So like, you really need to understand the digestive tract and also your personal digestive system before you like even take advice like this, because some people have a faster metabolism than others. Some people have thyroids that work better than others. So I don't know. It's tricky because I don't want to buy a peptide and use it, and it's not even working because of the simple fact that I have carbs and fat in my stomach. So I don't know. Let's go back and let's continue. Let me stop fucking critiquing this guy.
Need help figuring out your dosage or how to reconstitute the peptides, there is a link down in my description box. I tell this on every peptide video. I have a reconstitution video where I break it down step by step. It is idiot proof. There's a link down in my description box if you want to know how to reconstitute it, how to do it safely, how to make sure you take care of it right, because this stuff is fragile, and how to store it. Then go watch that video. And of course, you are going to need the sterile water. You can grab that on Beyond Research if you decide to go with this stuff or any other peptide. They sell it right there on the site. Much like HGH, it needs to be ran for a decent amount of time. If you really want to reap the rewards of this compound, you need to be taking it from 12 to 24 weeks. 12 weeks being your absolute minimum. If you get to that 12-week mark and you love it and you're good to go and you want to push it to the 24-week mark, you absolutely can. But just take this stuff for a couple weeks is fucking pointless. Don't do that. And there goes my other light. If you're going to do this stuff, you got to be in it for the long haul. Now, after you do your cycle, say you run it the whole 24 weeks, I would take a 12-week break in between. That way you give your pituitary gland a break. And last but not least, side effects. Now, side effects, since this stuff is a lot like HGH, you're going to get a lot of the HGH side effects. You're looking at tingling and numbness in your hands, water retention, insulin resistance, lethargy, and possible irritation at the injection site. One thing I always do, actually my old coach kind of taught me this or told me this, when taking HGH or HGH-like compounds, the way to kind of battle that water retention problem is to take potassium. Now, you don't want to take too much potassium because you can fucking kill yourself, but potassium typically comes in 99 milligram form. So if you just take one pill with your 2 highest carb meals of the day, so you'll essentially be taking 200 milligrams a day, one with each of your highest carb meals, that will help tremendously with the water retention. And even if you're watching this,
or you can do like I did and buy dandelion root extract. Dandelion root extract is an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, but its main purpose is to combat water retention. And the reason why I looked into that was because of the fact that I'm somebody who believes in hydrating with salt. So like salt contains sodium, magnesium, and potassium, which are electrolytes that they get the water into the cell. So basically, if you just drink bottled water, like dead shit, the water goes in you and it dilutes your minerals. It actually dilutes your sodium and it drops your sodium levels. So that doesn't hydrate you, because you're diluting the sodium. So now that I have a heart condition, I have to do the complete opposite of what I used to do and cut the sodium down. But the fact is, salt is good for you and it's good for the heart. So what I do now is when I do take high salt amounts, I take dandelion root and it helps with the water retention. Now what happens is when you take salt and you take excess salt, which is not bad for you, but it's bad for people with certain conditions. Now, you have to understand, if you take salt all the time, like 2 to 3 grams a day, you're hydrated. You're actually killing the bad bacteria in your gut. You're actually like hydrating from the inside out. So you're going to see it in your skin. You're going to feel it in your energy. You're going to have no brain fog. It's going to be great. But if you obviously have a heart condition like me, you take sodium, and then what it does is, since you retain water, what's going to happen is the more water that the body has to hold, it puts strain on the heart because now it needs to pump more blood efficiently. So if your heart has to pump more blood than average, you're putting strain on the heart, and then you're going to have palpitations, you're going to have atrial fibrillation, and you're going to get back into the same arrhythmias that you had before when you had the heart issue. So it's not beneficial whatsoever. You could actually die from it. So a good thing for water retention is dandelion root extract. Look it up.
Video and you're taking HGH and you're dealing with the water problems, take some potassium. It's super fucking cheap. You can get it on Amazon. 99 milligrams, biggest carb meal, and another 99 milligrams with your second highest carb meal. When he told me that and I did that, it was night and day the amount of water that came off of me just from doing that. And that is about it, guys. CJC1295 with Dak. Any questions, shoot me an email. Check out Beyond Research.
No. Check out these nuts. He's pretty smart. He's a cool dude. I've seen a couple of his videos. Pretty smart, educated. He's straight to the point. He's not very educated as far as like the literature, but as far as the as far as the basics and all that stuff, he's pretty straightforward with everything. Tells you what to take with it. Tells you how to obviously he's good with the whole carb cycling and stuff like that. So I can trust his word somewhat. But I gotta do a couple things. I gotta make a few phone calls. So I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here, cool. Oh man, fucking allergies are smacking me in the face, dude.